I'm talking to Lamon Brewster, who defeated our big Polish hope of the heavyweight division, Andrew Gołotę, in 2005 in Chicago. I remember that the whole show was promoted as border war. So Andrew Gołotę from Chicago and Lamon Brewster from Indiana. And how do you remember last week's before the fight, your preparation and the whole atmosphere around it?
I just trained hard. I trained very hard. I just trained to fight Gołotę hard every single round because Gołotę is the type of guy that you can't take lightly because he's a very skilled guy. He's a big, strong guy, and I didn't want to leave anything to chance.
And Gołotę, as far as I remember, and I think that I remember well, was a favorite of this battle after his two fights against Chris Bird, the IBF champion, and John Ruiz, the WBA champion, and you were the underdog, yeah. And were you 100% sure before the fight that you will defeat him?
Yeah, I knew I could beat him. See, when I fought Kali Mihan, I beat Klitschko, and then I fought Kali Mihan. But see, I fought for the first time. I fought a friend, so I didn't fight Kali Mihan as hard as I could have, and it made me look bad. So people thought that because I didn't fight Kali hard, that Gołotę would be able to beat me. So I understand that they thought that. So that's why I took the fight with Gołotę to show the people that I was the best fighter in the world. That's why I fought the best. And to me at that time, Gołotę was one of the best. So I destroyed him so that I could prove that I am the best.
I remember the ceremony, the weigh-in one day, as always, before the fight, and Gołotę's weight was bigger than in his last two fights. And did you think in that moment that he underestimated you in some way?
No, I didn't care how big he was or how small he was. Only thing matters that what I came to do, and I came to destroy him. I had bad intentions on every punch I threw, as you can see, and that's just what I did. No man in history has ever been able to stand in front of me. So, the one time a guy did was Cliff ATN. I tore my ACL. I fought for 10 rounds, but I didn't take a step back. And he was the only person that did it, but even then he ducked and dived. But Gołotę tried to stand in front of me because he thought because he was bigger than me, but I'm the hardest puncher in boxing, so that's not possible.
You defeated Gołotę. You knocked him out in the first round of the battle, as Lennox Lewis did in 1997. And was your plan to attack very aggressively from the beginning, or it was just by mistake, let's say?
No, I just came to destroy him. I wanted to hurt him because I don't like bullies, and to me, he was a bully, and he tried to bully me, so I had bad intentions.
But everybody can say, every observer of sport, or even a person who doesn't know about sport very much, will say that the weakest point of Gołotę was his mental side. And did you think before the fight that this will be your advantage?
No, not at all. You can't think like that because what if you get in the ring and you're wrong? I just came to fight hard every round for 12 rounds, but it ended in the first. So it didn't matter if it was the first or the 12th round. I was going to knock him out because I wanted to hurt him.
I think that if the battle had lasted longer than one round, and the opening round, would the fight have become more difficult for you?
No, I trained to fight just like you saw me do in the first 53 seconds. I trained to do that for 12 rounds, so it wouldn't have mattered.
What about two previous Gołotę's fights? Some observers said that he won, that he defeated John Ruiz and Chris Bird. What is your opinion?
Yeah, I think that they right. I think that they could be right. I'm not a judge. The judges had it in favor for them for whatever reason, but you can very easily argue and say that he did win those fights. But the judges have the final say so, not me.